Hey folks, are you curious about what is the property market trend going to be like? Is it a good time to invest? Because property price has been inflated, but interest rate also has been going up. So what are the things to take note of? Perhaps let's hear from our guru, Mr. Victor say, if it's the right time to really jump into the property market wagon.
Of course, global properties have been on the up and up and up over the last more than a decade now. Okay, especially Singapore. Singapore has been up for almost 20 years, and I'll talk about more about Singapore in a minute. But what I'm going to say is that with inflation going so high and not going to come down for at least 1 year, interest rate is going to go higher. So eventually, we may see interest rates from the bottom in the United States going up by about 4%. That is if inflation stays where it is, inflation behaves. But if inflation does not behave and keep on climbing, we may even reach 5%. Alright, so this 5%, when they increase interest rates, they will tag on to the mortgage.
Right.
Okay, your mortgages. So you will have a 5% increase in mortgage interest rates. And of course, it's very, very painful, 5%.
A lot.
And with higher interest rates, it will eventually lead to lower growth. Of course, that's economics. Higher interest rates means people cannot hire people, their businesses will slow down.
Yes.
And therefore, you will have a mild recession, mild slowdown. And a mild slowdown means further sell-off in the property market because it's too high. Alright, just to give an example, New Zealand's property have started coming down. Australia has started coming down. Canada is down quite a lot. Alright, people are giving discount, 20% discount to sell their properties.
Wow.
And still people don't want to buy. Singapore, by virtue of it being an open economy and you have foreigners coming to buy, but that is on the higher end. So the foreigners who come in and buy the higher end properties, they really do not care whether property goes up or down. They just buy for investment. But for local, you have the mass market, that means the 1,000 per square foot to the 2,000 per square foot type of range. I think you have to be very careful because we have not seen a correction for 20 years. And we will see one. Just to give you a perspective, in 1986, when I started work, in 84, 83. 3 years later, there was a collapse in the property market. 50%. It dropped, it stayed there for like 3-4 years, and it started moving up. It moved up until 2000. There was another crash, 60%. Alright? And since 2001, 2002, where it started to move up, almost 20 years, there has been no correction. So please be very careful when you want to buy property because I really cannot see the property market sustaining at current levels for too long.
Yeah.
It's almost at the peak. I cannot tell you when it's going to happen, but it will happen. Timing, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, I don't know. But between now and 1 year, your interest rate is going to start to go up. So maybe from 3 to 6 months time, you will see the property start to cool down, and I wouldn't like to use this word, but I would say crash will come probably 1 to 2 years from now.
Yes, it's very scary because I myself felt it that your cash on hand, your disposable income reducing. Right? Because of the inflation, things are getting very expensive, including property, and interest rate would go up. In fact, we will have to crop out more money to pay for our installment. And with that higher money, provided that, I would say 2 factors. Firstly, we still continue with our work. The salary, is not being reduced, right? Because increasing is going to be tough because businesses are already, slowing down their growth rate, right? Secondly, we better have buffer of emergency funds in the event that, let's say, we lost our job. but we still have to pay our dues of our installments or whatever installment, not just property. Sometimes, we sign packages and then we go by credit, and when we got out of job, we are going to face a big problem with our cash flow and with our savings. So that can be very scary. So when we want to invest, we better invest with our spare cash as well, right? So it makes sense to understand some of this economic situation globally, and not just about the Singapore sentiments, about the property, about the news, about the new launches, and then we just go and chong for it. But we have to be, I would say, vigilant or prudent also of what's happening outside, because the wave could just came in anytime, and then there could be major corrections globally outside and also impacting Singapore-wise itself. How much would it go? Maybe not too sure yet. So even we are going for capital appreciation of our property, whether it makes sense now, because if price is really high, how much can it really appreciate, right? And it is one point we have to consider. So second point, of course, again back to disposable cash that we have, the emergency fund, and if we can continue to service our loans, our installments. So that is wise for you to better understand the economics, and I think if Victor have class, we might want to check out his course of his course that actually going to teach us the economy factors, how we use it to analyze the market if we want to trade or invest, or to let our money do not depreciate or devalue. Yeah, are you going to have this course on?
There'll be a course.
Okay.
I have titled it "How to Interpret Economic Indicators and Economic Views and News." In the sense that I will talk about the economic indicators of all the different countries, how it impacts on those currencies, and also on the views and news coming out. Why is the Federal Reserve so important? Why is the Bank of England, why the speeches are so important? Who are the characters over there that when they speak, the market move? So if you're doing foreign exchange especially, this sort of speakers, this sort of news are very important. And for me, because I'm more a macro strategy trader, I take a certain longer position for some of my trades. It's very important to know where the economic position is for that particular country. If I do a euro, let's say, if I sell euro, which I'm doing now, I sell euro, buy US, I'm very confident because euro, there's a lot of problems. Euro, of course, there's a Russian problem, the war in Ukraine, there is a gas problem. If the Russian gets very, very angry, they shut off the gas, that's it, Germany is gone. And of course, Germany is gone, means the whole of Europe is gone.
Yeah.
And of course, because they have already experienced a cut in gas, they're going to experience a lot of slowdown in the economy. So those are very important, and I will touch that during the course, which is on the 27th of August. So if you are keen, you can get in touch with me or with Zelda, and then we can go. And I also tell you how I position my trades. All right, I may have a strategy for a slightly medium-term position and also a day-to-day position. So depending on how you are as a trader, which position you want to take, but I also will talk on that because I think it's important.
Yeah, there's so much to learn from Victor, right? How we can really increase our cash on hand, right? By following Victor's macro perspective also, with some understanding on the fundamentals, and what did he do to ensure that he has a good buffer and ride on the opportunity when it comes, regardless whether there's going to be a corrections or inflations or stagflation or whatever you call it, right? So stay tuned, and we'll find out more from him.